Okay, so trust me, this is a book that you really want to read. Bookworm by Lucy Mangan, a memoir of childhood reading, is the subtitle, and it's a very adequate one. This is essentially a book for book lovers. It's a book written for people who have lost themselves in the written word. Lucy Mangan tells us all about how she herself became a bookworm, a book lover, how she became enamored, obsessed with the act of reading. It's just one of those books that, it feels like it was tailor made for me, and I'm pretty sure that will be. Hopefully, it will be the same for you. If you enjoy reading as much as I do, and of course you are because you are watching this video, therefore you are a bibliophile, if you are on BookTube, I guess, you will love this book. It's just so heartwarming and heartfelt and emotional and true, and it's so funny. It is deliriously funny. It's hilarious. And that's really what won me over. Lucy Mangan is now one of my favorite people. It sounds very weird saying that, but she is just one of those people. She is decent, true, kind, sarcastic, down to earth. She takes no nonsense. She is just the real deal. Actually, reading this book made me think of Helene Hanff. She has one of those voices, kind of sarcastic and witty, very clever, very sarcastic, and just hilarious. I was laughing constantly when reading this book. I was laughing out loud like every other page or so. It was almost awkward because, luckily for me, I read this on vacation. I was staying here inside in my house. But if I had been reading this outside in public, outdoors, in the real world, it would have been quite awkward because I couldn't stop laughing. Lucy Mangan actually felt very Mexican to me. I am Mexican. So what I what I mean when I say that is that her sense of humor and her turn of phrase felt very Mexican to me. Like, British and Mexican humor are very much alike, very similar, actually. She's just very she really goes on tangents and she just runs on and talks about herself and makes fun of herself. There's a lot of self-deprecating humor in the nicest way, and that is a very Mexican thing, and I think we share that with British humor. So I just really, really clicked with this. It's incredibly hyperbolic. She is really hyperbolic and exaggerated, which is a very Mexican thing and a very British thing, I guess. So I just really, really clicked with her humor. And of course, on top of the humor and the book loving side of it, this book is going to give you a lot of recommendations of books you want to read, books you didn't know about, or maybe you had heard of, but you hadn't really wanted to read them before. So now, thanks to this book, I have significantly added more books to my TBR and to my shopping cart on Amazon, which is not what I wanted, but that's what happened. So I really, really recommend that you read Bookworm by Lucy Mangan. Reading this book was unadulterated delight and joy. I only wish it were longer because I read this pretty much in 1 day and a half, and I didn't want it to end. It's one of those delicious reading experiences where you just don't want it to end, but it did. And it's okay because now I will reread it soon and I want to recommend it to you. Hopefully you will treasure it as much as I did. This is a 5-star book, of course. It's of course a 5-star book, Bookworm.